Hello, this is Vlad and a new story from my channel, Amazing Stories. Anna struggled to open the heavy door, and when she stepped through the threshold, the tight spring compressed, and the door literally pushed her out into the street. The bags flew into the mud. 2 women's jackets, pants, and a sweater tumbled out. Damn it, Anna cursed. She picked up the clothes and tried to stuff them back into the bag, but quickly realized she couldn't fold them neatly, and she could easily get dirty. Waddling sideways, Anna hobbled to the trash can. She needed to get rid of these things. The patients would never need them again. They had no relatives, and none of the staff wanted the hand-me-downs. So the trash was the place for them. "Auntie, don't throw it away," a child's voice said behind her, and Anna felt someone tugging at her blouse. She was so taken aback that she almost fell after the jackets, right into the mud, and barely managed to stay afloat. "Oh, my God, who are you?" "I'm Masha." A girl of about 7 or 8 stood behind her. She looked at Robka, as if afraid she'd be chased away. "And what are you doing here? Have you come to see someone?" Quote, "No, I was just passing by. I see you're throwing away your jackets." "Well, yes, I'm bringing them," Anna nodded. "And what's it to you? Don't throw it away, please, give it back." Quote, and the girl looked at her huntedly. "And why do you need it?" "Not me, Grandma. Her jacket is completely torn. She wants to go outside." "Don't you have another one?" "No, she only has one," Masha answered. "Well, then let your parents buy her one. Is it really a pity to give up a jacket for your mother?" "I don't have parents, only Grandma," the girl answered very quietly. Anna looked her over again. She's dressed neatly, but poorly. The trousers are a little long, the jacket is a bit big. Only the tips of the fingers stick out of the sleeves, and the hat doesn't cover her skinny neck at all. But the hat is good, obviously handmade. And it was clearly knitted by a skilled woman. Such things are so expensive these days. "Oh, what's wrong with you? What should we do?" "Oh, well, you can't just give things away. We have to recycle them." "Well, then say you recycled them," Masha perked up. "And give them to me yourself." Anna shook her head. "Okay, take them. Just remember, I dropped them by accident." "I saw," the girl nodded. "I only need one. This one will suit Grandma the best." Well, what does it matter to me? You want one, you want both. Just look, there are also trousers and boots in the same bag. Maybe Grandma will suit them too." "Thank you." Masha thanked her with relief and ran home. But after a few steps she stopped, turned around and waved. "Thank you very much." Anna shrugged and went back. She still had to wash the floors in the wards with bedridden patients who had no relatives. Poor orphans in life. Masha was an orphan too, almost. After all, she had a grandmother. The grandmother who doted on her. Grandma had worked as an accountant her whole life, but one day, disaster struck. The boss, unbeknownst to the management of the company where Grandma worked, had been keeping double-entry bookkeeping for almost 10 years. Eventually, everything came to light, but the cunning boss twisted everything so that Grandma was to blame. On the day their home was searched, Mom Katerina's car had just turned 18. Guests had arrived, they were celebrating, the young people were getting ready to go to the club, and then there was a knock at the door. "Mom, it's Sasha," finally. Katya barely restrained herself from bursting into joy. "Come on, open up already," smiled the head, their neighbor and Katya's sweetheart from kindergarten. "Sasha." Katya joyfully opened the door, but there were no squeals or congratulations. Silence. "Katya, did something happen?" "Grandma." She bustled out into the hallway and saw 2 men. In uniform. "Olga Anatolievna, we have a warrant." And everything that happened next was like something out of a bad movie. The trial took place surprisingly quickly. Grandpa, whom Masha had never even seen, died soon after, her heart gave out, and Katya was left alone. But it didn't last long. A suitor showed up, showered the girl with compliments, convinced her to give him power of attorney for the apartment, and then disappeared, leaving her pregnant, homeless, and penniless. It's a good thing Grandma had a dacha, or rather a small house on the outskirts of town. That's where Katerina settled. Grandma returned there after the case was reviewed and she was acquitted. "Mom, I'm going to get some milk," Katya said one day, walked out the door, and no one saw her again. They were left with a 1-year-old car in their hands. She was still very young, she turned 50 that year. No one was hiring her in her specialty. In the end, she got a job as a cleaner, but then she fell awkwardly on the street and got a compression fracture. So she quit. She was too healthy for disability and a pension, and too ill for physical labor. Accountants can't get jobs. They cleared her, but the bad taste, as they say, remained. Later, of course, she managed to figure out something with part-time jobs. Olga Anatolievna knitted and sewed beautifully, so there were always clients. But she and Masha lived poorly. An elderly, beggarly child. That's how they looked from the outside. A loving grandmother and a smart granddaughter. That's how they really were. Masha quietly entered the house. Bah, she was asleep. She had recently been hired as a security guard in the underpass. She had to keep order, make sure no one was littering or acting out. Things were easier with money, of course. Now Masha would make some soup, and Gran would wake up and be happy. While the soup was cooking, Masha decided to wash her jacket. Okay, the zippers work fine, the hood is detachable, the cuffs on the sleeves need washing. Oh, what's that? She felt something in the pocket on her chest. Where? What? Quote, Gran woke up. Oh, sorry I woke you. You go to bed and get some sleep, Masha suggested. But what sleep? I need to cook something to eat and watch my homework with you. And what's this? Grandma finally noticed the jacket Masha was trying to hide behind her back. I asked for this, and they gave it to me. Only I dropped it. Masha was a little disingenuous. There's something in the pocket. Come on, let me get it. Quote. Grandma reached for the jacket, but Masha had already opened the pocket and pulled out what she felt there. And then she exclaimed in surprise, "Pa, this lady had a photo of me. Only for some reason my hair here is long," Masha declared. What? Come on, give me that. Quote, Grandma. She walked up to Masha, who was sitting on the floor, took the photograph, and then, collapsing exhausted onto the sofa, burst into tears. What's wrong with you? Masha was seriously scared. Mashenka, can't you see anything? I see our house. I'm next to it. Only the photograph is somehow wrong. Where did the apple trees go? And where is the gazebo? No, Mashenka, everything is correct. When this picture was taken, the apple trees were very small. And your grandfather had already built the gazebo. And where is he in the picture? He's not in the picture. It's only me. Is that you? Quote. The girl's eyes grew huge with surprise. It doesn't look like it, Granny grinned. It looks like it, Masha nodded. At me. Olga Anatolievna turned the picture over. The inscription on the back read, Olya, 10 years old, 1979. Is that you? Masha looked at her grandmother in surprise. Yes, she nodded. And then added. Very sadly, I remember very well the day this photo was taken. It was summer. Gran, or rather, Will, was turning 10. Every summer, she and Mom lived at the dacha, tended the garden, and prepared food for the winter. At that time, Olya was so happy. Usually, Mom was strict and cold with her, but here, In this house on the outskirts of the city, they talked a lot, joked, laughed, and dreamed. Olya was always afraid that the summer would end and Mom would turn into a stern snow queen again. The day before, a guest, Aunt Zina, arrived to visit them. She didn't leave Talya's side for a step, constantly asking her about everything, and telling her some things herself. "Do you live far from us?" Olya inquired. "Yes, we do," Zina nodded. "That's why they never came to visit us." "That's why," the woman nodded thoughtfully. Quote, "It's a shame, we have some delicious raspberries growing here," the girl declared authoritatively. Zina laughed at her businesslike tone. Quote, "Darling, I just couldn't before." "They wouldn't let me," Zina said haltingly. "Who wouldn't? And I'm not a daughter," Olya responded immediately. Zina looked around fearfully and stroked her head. Quote, "My dear little one," she said tenderly. "It's so good that you have a home, Mom and Dad. I so want everything to work out in your life." "Zina, well, I asked you to," Olya's mother shouted out the window. Then the women locked themselves in the room and argued loudly for a long time about something. The only thing Olya understood was that her mother wasn't her mother at all, and her aunt wasn't her aunt. But then she didn't want to believe it. After all, then it turns out that she herself isn't herself, but some stranger, some girl no one needs. Zina left an hour later, and Olga never saw her again. She tried to start a conversation with her mother about her sister, but her mother brushed her off and said that Zina didn't exist for her. She said that her sister had disgraced their entire family, ruined her life, and didn't deserve any leniency. Now, 50-year-old Olga Petrovna held the photo in her hands and didn't know what to think. How could the photo have ended up in the hands of an unknown woman? Who was she? A hospice patient. Why didn't she have any relatives? Or maybe it was Aunt Zina. "Dad, here there's also a photo and a note. Look." Olga took the piece of paper and unfolded it with trembling hands. It was a letter addressed to her. A letter that wasn't sent, simply because the sender didn't know the address. "My daughter, Olya, forgive me for never being able to find you and tell you the truth. Yes, you are my daughter. You were born when I wasn't even 17. My parents were afraid of shame. They wanted me to give you up. I tried to run away with you, but they found us and brought us back home. Then my mother took you and gave you to my older sister. She didn't have any children of her own, only you. My sister wasn't very happy about the new addition, but she agreed to raise you, and I was sent to study in Vladivostok, across the entire country. I lived with our distant relatives. I came back several times later. I wanted to take you. And once we even went with you to my city. But my parents and sister decided that I had no right to this and that nothing there is no need to change. You were brought back, and I was forbidden to communicate with you. Forgive me, darling, that I did not find you. They told me that you lived in another city, and that I should not look. That is how I lived my life in melancholy. Your mother sometimes sent letters, but without a return address, and then she stopped altogether. I had everything in my life: a husband, a home, a full cup, friends. The only thing missing was you. I came to find you, to tell you how much I love you, but I don't know if it will work. I am seriously ill. I got worse, ended up in the hospital. Tomorrow I will ask, maybe, a nurse to find you. I will also try to involve the police. Olenka. And everything that I have, I leave with you. Here's the lawyer's address. I am writing this letter because I am afraid that I might get worse. Will I see you again? I don't know. I love you more than life itself. Your mother, Zina. Stunned, Olga reread the letter again and again. Memories that had previously seemed strange floated into her mind. She remembered Aunt Zina and how she called her Mom. She remembered how they were traveling somewhere on a train, and her strange feeling, as if she had lived apart from her mother. And now they were together. And all her life she had grown up in a loveless family. She tried to prove that she was worthy of attention, that she was worthy of affection and kind words. She was an excellent student. She chose the job her mother had indicated. She even named her daughter Katya, in her honor. But there had never been a warm relationship between them. Never. And now it became clear why. Grandma, what's wrong? Masha was shaking her. Oh, nothing, Mashenka. It seems you performed a miracle today. This letter is for me, for you. And how did Auntie know you? Olga silently handed the piece of paper to her granddaughter. She moved her lips, quietly pronouncing the words. Then she looked up and quietly asked, "Was that your mother? And why are you silent?" Quote, "It turns out so, Mom, and they took it from me. The aunt who wore the jacket, she is no longer here." Masha fell asleep. "If she carried your photo, it means she was looking for you." "So she was looking." Olga answered in a quiet echo. "I searched and found. Through you, sunshine." At the very bottom of the letter was written the lawyer's address. His office was nearby, but now it was closed. "Tomorrow we will go to him, tomorrow. And today we will just be together. You, me and my mother Zina." In the morning, Masha went to the lawyer. He was surprised to see an elderly woman in a bright jacket. He remembered this jacket well, because not long ago, in exactly the same one, or maybe even in this one, a client came to draw up a will. And the lawyer did not miss the opportunity to mention it. "It was my mother," Olga answered quietly. "I really didn't know her." "So that's it," the man whistled. "Well then, we'll prove our relationship." "Is that difficult?" Olga asked, looking straight into her eyes. "It's difficult, but possible," the lawyer declared. The relationship was proven, in part thanks to the nurse, Anna, who gave her the jacket. She confirmed it. Zina was delirious before her death, talking about her daughter, granddaughter, and niece. She confused everyone. But all the conversations boiled down to one thing: a request to find Olga Anatolievna. The Mashas inherited an apartment and savings. A mother's last gift to her daughter, whom she didn't know. The apartment they moved into seemed alien, but on the wall hung a photograph, the very one taken on Olga's 10th birthday. And every day, Zina turned to it and dreamed of giving her daughter a new life. "Oshka, you and I are not alone anymore. We also have Grandma Zina. It's a shame I never met her. And I feel sorry for her. But it seems she will look after us now." If you like the story, I hope you support me with the thumbs up button. All the best, M.